this country peacefully. None of us have to be told what a dangerous point we're at with the incredible level of conflict there is between different parties and people with different sets of beliefs in this country. So, in the name of the Liberty Bloc, Americans United for Peaceful Separation, New Hampshire Exit, and possibly PorcFest as well, I'm extremely honored to welcome, all the way from Texas, the president of the Texas Nationalist Movement, Daniel Miller. And we also have with us on Zoom, and we're hoping he will be able to speak with us as well, Marc Ruiz Evans, who is the president of CALEXIT. What is absolutely wonderful about this is these are the two largest secession movements in the country, as far as I know in history, on two totally opposite sides of the spectrum. And if they can somehow partner up at any level and help each other tactically or anything else, I think we've got a shot. So with no further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Daniel Miller. He's going to speak for a little bit. Hopefully we'll hear from Marcus from CALEXIT, and then we'll open it up to questions. Thank you.
Okay, howdy. Oh, that's not going to do. Howdy. Howdy. There we go. Hey, it is so good to be here, and Steve, thank you guys so much for inviting me. It's great to see you all for the first time. You know, we actually, a lot of us connect on Zuckerbook. Unfortunately, I know there are alternatives. I'm sure that I will give about a 30-minute lecture when this is over on what the alternatives are. But, you know, this is what we do, right? We connect with one another as independence movements. And I can honestly say that throughout the 25 years that I've been engaged in the fight for Texas independence, one of the things that has been very evident is we have networked with independence movements around the world, not just here in North America, but around the world. And that is that there are people in countries all around the world that want to just simply exercise their right of self-government. And I'm pretty certain that I'm in a crowd of people that believe in the right of self-government, right? I'm making sure I'm in the right room, folks. Just making sure I'm in the right spot. And so, you know, we see it all around the world, from the gentleman that I was talking, I had a conversation out there a moment ago with a gentleman about a friend of mine who is a leader in an independence movement in Zimbabwe, who his name is Paul Sewell. He is the president of the Matabeleland Liberation Organization, and had to flee Zimbabwe under penalty of death under the Robert Mugabe regime, right? So whether it's guys like Paul or the folks in Catalonia or the Sao Paulistas in Brazil or the folks here in New Hampshire or the folks in California or the folks in Texas, it is absolutely abundantly clear that the people absolutely want the right of self-government. And so our watchword, as we have progressed on this Texit endeavor, this Texit journey that looks to be probably closer to its destination than ever, has been, hey, thank you. I appreciate it. That was awkward, but it was nice. You're doing good. I mean, big rowdy. I'm okay with that, right? I mean, I showed up in a suit coat and cowboy boots. I'm here to be rowdy. But the watchword for us has always been something that we have found, that it can be found in every iteration of the Texas Constitution back to the Republic days of 1836. And right now, in our state constitution, it resides in Article 1, Section 2. And it begins with these words: all political power is inherent in the people. Right? Notice it doesn't say that all political power is inherent in the politicians, the pollsters, the pundits, or the propagandists disguised as journalists. It's all political power is inherent in the people, right? And so who are we? Oh, wow, that doesn't sound powerful, right? All political power is inherent in who? The people. The people, and we're the people, right? And so what we are seeing now is this rising up of the people to reclaim their right of self-government, not just here, not just in Texas, but around the world. Because at the end of the day, we know what the end of the book says. And the end of the book says that freedom wins. Am I right? Yeah. You were going to work to make it happen. So I am absolutely pleased to be here on this panel today with these, what I would consider not just colleagues, but brothers and sisters in the cause of self-determination and self-government. Because at the end of the day, folks, we're going to win. Because we're going to do what it takes to win. Aren't we? Yeah. All right. So let's make that happen. Let's get through our introductions and let's get to the Q&A, because I know I can see some salt and pepper and some eyes out there. And we'll talk about how we're going to get this thing done, right? So let's get independence done, folks.
Do you know if we have audio with California?
I don't know, we're gonna find out. Marcus, can you hear us?
Yes, perfectly. Rousing speech. Well done.
Perfect.
So before Marcus jumps in there, I just really do want to point out how historic and important this gathering actually is. I'm very sad that Marcus isn't physically here, but you know, thank God for that. So we are talking about a left movement, a right movement, and a libertarian movement. So what is the thing that unites all of us is this notion, and I think this is the way to frame it, is all of us want a divorce from an abusive partner, but for different reasons and in order to build different things. And that is what self-governance is as well. So Marcus, with that, please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Marcus Ruiz Evans. I was born and raised in California. I've lived in the Central Valley, Inland Empire, Sacramento, famous Bay Area, Los Angeles, San Diego, and I have worked for the California government. I have gone to California public schools and attended California universities. I am California. I also wrote a book about California in 2012. I started the CALEXIT movement, but the media has done a pretty good job of making sure that I never get the credit that I deserve. The first attempt to talk about CALEXIT was 2012 with the book California's Next Century. The first article ever seriously talking about California independence was Tom Elias, the man who started the 2003 recall election, well known about my book, interviewing me. That predates anyone and everyone you've ever heard about with the movement. But again, you probably haven't heard about me because the media does a pretty good job of making sure you never hear about real life Californians, but only foreign intrigue when you talk about us. Thank you so much for letting me be here. I have to say, you are totally right. This is historic. The largest liberal movement has never appeared on the same stage, virtual or physically, with the largest conservative movement for independence. That has never happened before this moment right now. And yes, that is historic when you look at the long-term history of secession. Also have to say thank you to Liberty Block. Liberty Block has been a consummate source of bringing liberals and conservatives together while not selling out. I would not be here if it was not for Elliot and the rabbi spending immense amount of patience and time in order to bring people who have very different worldviews together. So this is happening because of Liberty Block. I personally attest to that. Daniel, it is a privilege to appear with you, sir. Thank you, everybody.
Marcus.